Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. What an incredible game we had last night between the Suns and the Pacers, and there's a little bit of backstory because we had a couple players of the Suns in Dragic, Green, and Plumlee who had something to prove against the Pacers because they're doing terrific this year, having not done anything at all with the Pacers the year before. Plus, you had the Morris twins and my new favorite player, Goran Dragic, who I think has a great argument as the best point guard in the league. Now, I know the numbers aren't quite there, but when you look at the plays he can make and the speed with which he can play, we've seen him go off in the playoffs and go crazy like this already. There is something about him that hardly any point guards have in ability and shot making, and it's a really exciting team to watch. And whenever they get Bledsoe back, look out. The first place we should look is in transition, where the Suns played in another gear, breaking off of both makes and misses. The Pacers simply couldn't stop them once the Suns started going downhill. After this miss, the Pacers have 4 players above the Suns' 4 players, in prime position to get back. But Hornacek knows playing small gives him an advantage here, with super athlete Miles Plumlee simply beating Hibbert down the floor and getting a fantastic pass from just inside half court from Dragic Green. And the Morris twins have been a revelation this year, with Markieff Morris cold ripping Scola in the post. The Suns spread the floor immediately and run to the three-point line. This shot is relatively well defended, but it's in rhythm as if they're in practice drills. As this loose ball is being batted around, the second Lance Stephenson went for it, the defense was in trouble. Dragic Green has been another revelation, playing with the kind of confidence the Pacers never saw last year. While Hill should certainly be concerned with Dragic sprinting to the corner 3, the most important thing is the ball, and that always must be stopped first, otherwise it's SportsCenter time. Da-da-da, da-da-da. The pick and roll was also a problem because the Suns can pop out and space the floor as well as roll to the hoop. And with such a good guard like Goran Dragic running it most of the time, you had better come with a serious defensive game plan if you want to stop him. The Pacers still like to guard pick and rolls out top by hedging, but watch what Channing Frye does. He slips the screen, forcing West to sprint to keep up, but then he cuts back out to the three-point line where he's deadly at 41%. This takes West out of the play, leaving Hibbert as the last line of defense. Watch how Dragic soars over him. There might be 3 other point guards that could make this play, and 2 of them are rehabbing right now. On a nightly basis, Dragic plays in a much faster gear than everybody else. Here's another hedge by David West, who cannot hope to slow him down, but George Hill goes underneath this screen, which isn't a great idea since he's pretty darn good from there. Here's an interesting take on Horns, where they send Frye across on a flare screen before pick and roll. Even though this is contained, Dragic is simply a shot maker, and when he gets going, there's not much you can do. Had the Pacers played ice on this sideline screen and roll, West would have been by the block to help on penetration. Instead, he hedges high, probably worried about Frye popping for 3. George Hill does a terrific job to beat him to the spot, but Dragic counters with a simple step back. Again, the Pacers involve West in a pick and roll, he hedges, and Paul George gets caught underneath the screen, and Dragic makes them pay. The Suns even did something influenced by the triangle offense with this blind pig action, making the diagonal pass to the high post and having the guard cut to the hoop. The Pacers did an excellent job stopping all the initial action. However, the Suns just keep ball screening till they get a cross matchup and Hibbert cannot keep up with Dragic. When the Suns did involve Hibbert in a pick and roll, you can see the big guy sinks down low to protect the paint, but this becomes a 2-on-1 with 2 of the best leapers in the game, virtually unstoppable. And the Suns rendered Hibbert useless in this game by screening with his man and popping out for 3. He might have been able to close out early in the game, but they just wore him out. The 3-ball also doomed the Pacers to a blowout, even though the Suns didn't even get close to their average number of attempts. They got so many easy shots from 3, they still made more than their average number of makes. Here's an example of Lance Stephenson not respecting Dragic Green's 3-point shot, going underneath this simple pin down and giving him a clean look. Here, the Pacers actually use ice to guard the pick and roll, but Channing Frye is Ice's worst nightmare as he gets a quick release 3 before the defense can even get close. And while this isn't technically helping one pass away, Danny Granger needs to read this and see that Hibbert is in position to defend the hoop, and he should begin to break back to his man much earlier. And the Suns began to demoralize the Pacers by spreading the defense wide and screening with Hibbert's man, knowing full well he'll sink back low into the lane and there will be no hope to get back to Morris and his 3-ball. And this was the backbreaker. As long as Hibbert was in, the Pacers were at a disadvantage because of their spacing and shooting. Boom, game over. So there you have it, sports fans. Some really interesting stuff, especially because we had just gone over how good the Pacers defense is. And it is good, but this is one of those weird perfect storms where whatever they do on the pick and roll is going to be difficult because those guys can pop and hit threes, and that just spaces out the floor even more, making it very difficult. So I will say this. No one is going to want to play the Suns in the playoffs. Nobody. If they get on a roll and get hot, they're going to really hurt some teams, even if they're don't have home court advantage. So watch out for the Suns team. They're young, they don't have experience, they have a new coach, but man, they're exciting to watch and a team that you better keep your eye on going forward. Well, thanks for joining us, and don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?